Hey guys, welcome to Wednesday Woes. This is a place where I talk about things and you can join in if you want to. This is a place where we can all rant, vent, and do what Singaporeans love to do, complain. So if you're still with me, great, let's go. Today we're going to talk about, as the title would suggest, judgment and judging people. It is easy to dismiss this as a purely negative thing and that we shouldn't do it. We should always give everyone an equal opportunity and fair chance to express themselves. But let's talk about why this phenomenon or phenomenon happens. Just to clarify, this has no scientific research or proof whatsoever. It's just things that are coming off my mind on the top of my head and this quiff I gotta go on here. So first, I think that people judge because it is like a first line of defense for ourselves. So when you first meet new people or any stranger, you would establish some kind of categories in your mind, and then you would try to sort these new guys into these specific categories that you have created in your mind. This is so you can process them and try to make sense of who they are as a person and whether or not you can click or get along well with them or not. So if they belong in a positive category that you like, then you would naturally be inclined towards them and try to make friends and be a little bit more open to whatever they have to say. But on the other hand, if they fall into a category that is negatively associated in your mind, you would naturally have more reservations about whatever they say, the points that they make, however valid they may be logically thinking. Your mind just naturally tunes them out just a little bit because of this categorization. You will naturally tend to veer towards people who are more similar and kind of like-minded to yourself. And that's a good thing, and that's a way of protecting your own self-interests, if you will, because it's always tough to receive conflict in ideas, conflict in opinions. So that is one reason why we judge. It is the first line of self-defense in terms of making friends or sticking to acquaintances. Now, another reason why we judge is pretty superficial. It is simply because we want to fit in with our current social standing and with our current social circles, with our groups that we are part of right now. That is so superficial, but we do it anyway because it makes us feel good and feel like we belong, because we share a common enemy of sorts, you know? Do you know what I mean? I'm sure you've experienced this kind of feeling yourself when your friends suddenly notice this one person acting a little bit out of the normal in your social circle, okay? And then at first you don't notice this kind of behavior by that stranger, and then you start to feel like, hey, you guys are right, that's a little bit weird, that guy is weird, that guy is off, that guy is strange, that guy is whack. When maybe he's not. Well, if you ever thought about it from his perspective and his group of friends' perspective, he or she rather is definitely perfectly normal in their sense, whereas you might be the weird one. So yeah, that is why we judge people also, to try and fit in and become more well-liked by your current group of friends. Makes sense? It's very fair and it's very normal and it's unavoidable. So we just gotta live with it. Don't we? And now on that note, it is time to talk about the bad side of judging, right? Of judging people or anything. So it is definitely extremely superficial and it tends to cause a lot more harm than good. After all, you will want to try to make as many friends rather than enemies, or rather than dismissing entire groups of people altogether and not giving them a chance, because naturally you would want them to accord you the same respect and same autonomy, same kind of trust or same kind of benefit of the doubt, if you will. So judging people is extremely superficial and it completely removes the whole fair chance of getting to know someone new or some people who are new to your life, who may turn out to be awesome but you've not given them the chance to. And it is extremely selfish on our part by judging people because we are not giving them the fair chance of being who they are and trying to prove themselves that they can be friends or that you two could be friends, because it's a mutual thing. And it's extremely unfair also because you would want them to respect you in a certain way, but you are not offering them that same respect. So you gotta offer respect before you can even try to gain respect. You gotta earn respect. That is the key, and I'm sure you've heard of it before. So yeah, while it may seem fun, and well, it's kind of fun at times and therapeutic in fact to bitch about other people and just laugh at a certain group of strangers and mock all the weirdos in your life that you may see and may never see again. That is why you feel like there's no consequence to your actions. Try not to do it. Try to limit it at least, you know. And then open your mind, open your heart, and give yourself a chance to meet new people and broaden your horizons. Oh, talking really deep today, huh? Or maybe it's just the loneliness speaking and that I should probably make new friends. Whatever it is important to be self-aware and that know that judging is bad and that you may be doing it. Recognize the moments that you are judging people and try not to take all your judgments too seriously. No matter how good your intuition, your gut feeling, your first impressions usually are, try to put them down, set your ego aside, get to know these people before you make a final judgment on this fella, whether he or she deserves a place in your life. I think that is only fair. And if you decided not to approach or get to know this person or people, fair enough. Don't make it worse by having these negative associations with them in your mind, and don't label them, okay? Never label people, because that is just rude and pretty inhumane. I mean, you don't need Coca-Cola company to tell you that labels are for cans and not people. You don't want to be labeled, especially not something bad. I mean, if you're labeled as like a superstar, a philanthropist, a god, a saint, then sure, yeah, that's great, that's good labeling, right? But if people label you as weirdo, and a lot of other terms that I cannot say, right? Then it's gonna be so hurtful. That person may not know it, but you doing it is an extremely horrible thing to do. And I hope you feel bad about it, or at least learn to feel bad about it. Okay, I'm not perfect. I've definitely judged my fair share of people and had my fair share of big laughs about it. But I am slowly learning and I'm slowly recognizing that it is not a good thing, because it's all part of growing up, right? My mind is maturing and I need to meet more people as well. So I want to give people a fair chance, if you will. And I hope I am given the same fair chance as well. That is only fair. Okay, so that is probably it for now that I'm going to talk about judgment. We all know about this phenomenon, and we all know that it is bad, inherently bad, although we also identify its possible usefulness in terms of that defensive mechanisms in our brain. But yeah, just try to limit it and try not to let it get to the point where it is insensitive, hurtful, and derogatory, however you want to pronounce it, okay? Do not, in the process of your judgment of others, become an evil person yourself. I guess that is the main takeaway. When you want to judge people, there is always a limit, and you should know when is that limit and never to cross that line. So that will be really it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Continue to stick around, and hopefully you continue to enjoy my future videos as well. And if you haven't watched my previous videos, check them out. You might have some fun, have some little vicarious living through YouTube. And I'll see you guys again next week. Peace.